Here are my top three games to watch this week. Let's start at number three. We're going Kentucky, number nine, at number 11, Louisville, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, November 11th on Tuesday. We're recording this on Monday, so tomorrow at the KFC Yum Center. This should be an elite level game. Kentucky is the deepest team in the country, arguably. And they're going up against the Louisville team, who last time they were tested at home, they did not rise to the expectations, right? Michael Brown, last time he was on this big of a stage, he didn't rise to the expectation. So to me, this right here is number one, a perfect way to get back your fan base. Because if you watch the game against Kansas when Louisville played an exhibition, their fans were leaving early. Their fans were really sold on this team because of what they did in the transfer portal, had one of the best incoming classes. And then you go out there and perform the way you did against Darren Peterson and friends. So if you're Louisville, you're Pat Kelsey, you need to win back that fan base. They weren't happy with what the performance that they saw. They were happy with the product they saw on the floor against Kansas. Last time you saw a top 25 matchup. Good thing it didn't count against your record. You were still 0-0 at that point. Now you're 2-0. So this week, going up against Louisville, this is one of the most heated rivalries in all of college basketball. I talked about it earlier on in the show. This is up there with North Carolina and Duke, not at the same level, but it's still in the ballpark. This is an entertaining rivalry game. They hate each other's guts. Both teams will come out to play. And this right here is a game you cannot lose if you are Louisville because you're at home. You have to protect your crib at all costs, right? So this right here was my number three matchup. High level, high level rivalry. Cannot wait to watch. Let's go to number two. We're going number three, UConn. At number seven, BYU. This is at TD Garden, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. This is entertaining for a lot of reasons. Solo ball, AJ Dybantsa. What more can I say? You have arguably one of the best veteran guards in the country. And you know what? Let's add Alex Caravan to that list. So you have two of the best veteran players in the country at UConn with a mastermind in Dan Hurley going up against AJ Dybantsa and Rob Wright. And AJ Dybantsa, one of the premier freshmen in the country, Rob Wright, a super sophomore who has been terrific, going up against a new mastermind in this college basketball ranks in Kevin Young. I love the chess match that's going to happen. I respect and love these two coaches and love their basketball IQ. So there would definitely be a lot of chess matches going on. This would be a high IQ from a coaching standpoint type of game. Right? They're going to have great game plans, and I cannot wait to see what really unfolds. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Solomon Ball. It's going to come down to AJ Dybantsa. Those two guys have to put on a performance and put on a show, especially with UConn and their freshmen being out. They need Solo Ball and Alex Caravan to step up. Richie Saunders will also be key. I think Richie Saunders is a guy we need to watch. I mean, BYU has so many guys when it comes to dudes who can take over a game. You have AJ Dybantsa, you have Richie Saunders, you have Rob Wright, you have Kennard Davis. I mean, they have so many guys who can take over a game at any point of the game. I'm giving the edge to BYU, and I think BYU will prevail. That's my number two game. Let's go. Before we get to number one, an honorable mention tomorrow, Tuesday, November 11th, number 11, Texas Tech at number 14, Illinois at the State Farm Center, 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. This is going to be two styles of basketball with a lot of high IQ players. You have Christian Anderson and JT Toppin. This is Christian Anderson's first time on a big stage in which it's his show. Last year, it was Elijah Hawkins' show, and he came off the bench. Christian Anderson, he was more of a scorer. He probably scored his high was like 14, 15. I don't know. But it wasn't a consistent thing. This year, the ball is in your hands, Christian Anderson. What do you do when everybody is watching? What do you do when the eyeballs are on you? How do you react? How do you respond? Can you still make those same level of plays that you were making against Longwood? Can you do it at this high of a level? The questions that need to be answered will be answered against Illinois, who plays a phenomenal brand of basketball. I touched on them in the 15 on 15. I love this foreign style that Brad Underwood is bringing to the college basketball ranks. This is going to be tough to deal with Can Texas Tech guard this? Scouting these guys will probably be one of the hardest scouts that Grant McCasland has ever seen. But this is my honorable mention game. Probably should have been number 2 and number 3, but I'm throwing that in honorable mention. My number 1 game this week is going to happen on Thursday. Number 2, Purdue at number 8, Alabama. Coleman Coliseum, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN2. Oh, my goodness. When we talk about LeBaron Phylon, I'm going to keep mentioning their names. LeBaron Phylon, Aiden Holloway, what they did to St. John's. Imagine what they're going to do to Purdue, who's not known to be a defensive team. When you look at Braden Smith, everybody talks about how great he is offensively. Everybody talks about him being the best player in the country. They talk about him being a player who is an amazing facilitator and all these other things. All that sound good until you get put on the island with Aiden Holloway and LeBaron Phylon. Then what are you going to do? How are you going to move them puppies like Kendrick Perkins said? You going to move them puppies and be able to stay in front? You have to rely on your help side defense? What happens when you get Fletcher Lawyer switched on to you? Then they just start going to work. They're picking you apart and play by play, they start breaking you down. Then they force the help rotations. So now they're kicking into the wings to be able to knock down threes. These 2 young men are terrific, and they're going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams. So when you talk about Alabama, you talk about these 2 guards, I don't think Purdue plays the level of defense in which they need to in order to get this win, especially being on the road. I'm taking Alabama for the upset, and they're going to beat Purdue. Those are my 3 matchups that you have to watch this week. Let me know if I was right in the comments. Until next time, I'm out.